Well, welcome everybody, and again, I appreciate your time that you're taking today to hear about our new IUL software that I think you're going to find most valuable for your practice. Very enlightening to help your clients get to the next level. And I want to introduce you to Steve Johnson. He's going to introduce you to our IUL software that we have now into our system with Agents Insurance, and he'll kind of open up the door on how we can open up new prospects and how you can increase your compensation, and that's what it's all about. When this webinar is over with, we will certainly send some information over to you. Please be sure at any time, as you have been in the past, if you got any needs for our helping you on IUL presentations and illustrations, we can do so. Again, if you haven't had a chance to meet Mike Alfieri yet, I'll have him introduce himself to you in the next few days. He can help you on all the advanced planning that you may need, and he can even help you in the avenues of point of sales materials. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Steve. And at the end of the conference, please mark the chat box. And if you have any questions, Steve, Tim, or I'll be glad to answer them for you. Thanks a lot. Steve?
All right. Thank you very much, Barry. Thank you, everybody, for showing up here today. We have come up with a way to really make a massive difference when you're trying to help people understand why an IUL is so superior. And basically, you know, if you sell IUL, of course you must, because you're here on this webinar right now. Let me ask you a question. What's your closing ratio? Do you close 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, 6 out of 10? Well, whatever you don't close is a loss. That's money that you could have had in your pocket. And of course, Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman are the cause for a lot of those losses. But the other reason is because you don't truly have a way to compare what they have to what they could have. So, you know, prospects are really difficult to come by. They're the most valuable thing you have. Without a prospect, you're not going to sell an IUL. And you put a lot of time and effort into finding somebody to talk to. And we want to help you close more of those people. I mean, think of it. If you only do 4 out of 10, that means that's a 60% loss ratio. So why do people, and I know it's happened to everybody, you know, you have a great conversation, you think they're on board, and they go, well, give me a couple of days, let me think about it. You call them back and they don't pick up the phone, or for some reason or another, all of a sudden they talked with their neighbor, their friend, their plumber, who knows who, and they said, wow, I don't think I would do that. I've never heard of it. Well, that's right. A lot of people have never heard of it, and that's part of the reason that we use verification and validation. In other words, you're going to see at the end of this webinar why our software is so powerful, because we don't want people to have to believe you. We want people to believe other people in the business that they have heard of. And by the way, don't get off of this webinar, because when we get to the end, Barry and his people have come up with a way that you're going to be able to get in there and actually try this software out for 30 days for just $5. And let's just kind of keep moving here. So what are the challenges that you face? Well, prospects, they lack financial education. That's just a fact. And then you also have misleading information on TV, like Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. The unfortunate fact is a lot of people have a very low sense of urgency, and our software is going to build that urgency in, and it's going to really freak these people out, because it's going to develop emotions that they didn't realize. One of the other problems that you have is people go, well, this sounds too good to be true. Why haven't I heard of this before? Oh, and of course, the last one. Yeah, thank you, Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman. Why are the fees and commissions so high? Well, you know what? We've actually turned the fees into a sales advantage. You're going to see it here in just a couple of minutes. So what does our software do? Well, it educates rather than sells. So let me ask every single person on this call, do you like to be sold, or would you rather have somebody educate you so you can make an informed buying decision? And I don't care if that's a shirt, a house, a car, whatever you're going to buy, something you've decided that you need. You don't want to be sold. You want to be educated. And that's what we've been taught for the past 15, 20 years. Sell, sell, sell. Well, that's one way to try it, but then that's also, you can see why you have a 40 to 60% loss ratio. Now, our system is going to build trust and confidence, because if they don't trust you, well, you're probably not going to be doing business with them. We're also going to have mathematical proof that the IUL is better over their lifetime, not just at one isolated spot in their life. Again, we're also going to use third-party validations, and that's videos and articles from people like Tony Robbins, CBS 60 Minutes, MSNBC Morning Joe, and a bunch of others. And our software is very specifically created to create a sense of urgency. That's one of the problems people don't understand when they start showing an illustration to somebody. You're not creating any urgency. It's like, hey, look at this. Yeah, well, where's the proof? Now, the software is also very, very simple for the agent to learn. And don't fool yourself. Yes, you're going to have to spend, I don't know, anywhere from 2 to maybe 10 hours learning this program, but that's an investment in your future, and you'll see why. And of course, also, it's very easy for a prospect to understand. So you can see that's a lot of information and a lot of ways that this software helps you sell more IUL and make more money, right? So I want to introduce the IUL Total Advantage Sales and Software System. As you can see, it was built by a couple of producers, not some software geeks that don't know anything about what you and I do on a daily basis. But this is built by a couple of real producers. So we know what people need. And what we're going to do is compare on the left-hand side. This could be a non-qualified investment like a savings account or a CD or a money market or any type of market-based account. And in addition, it will compare 401ks, IRAs, Roths, and everything else. Well, it's going to compare it to an IUL. And we're going to compare that on a side-by-side basis at any age. And you'll see partway through this, I'm going to jump over this. Obviously, is a PowerPoint, but I'm going to jump over to the actual software here in just a few minutes. But again, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison so they can see what the true advantages are over somebody's lifetime. So you can see in the middle right now, we're at 85. And look, we've saved this person over $190,000 in taxes. Believe me right now, everybody, people are very, very sensitive about getting rid of taxes. And when you show them that they've paid $190,000 as compared to nothing for the IUL, because again, it does come out tax-free, that's really going to make an impact on people. Now, how about the fact that their 401k has 2 different sets of fees, mutual fund fees and 401k fees. Of course, the IUL has fees, but those fees give you something. The fees that they pay, you know what they got in return for that $295,000? Absolutely nothing. Those are fees from up here, and I'll show them to you here in a little bit. In addition to that, over their lifetime, we're going to show them the cumulative income, how much additional income that they would receive based upon that person's particular age over their lifetime. We're also going to show them that eventually they're going to pass away. And when they do pass away, they're going to have a death benefit that's going to go tax-free over to their spouse and their family. Now, that's going to show them the total advantage over their lifetime. Look at that, $1.2 million. Pretty good advantage, right? Taxes, fees, income, and death benefit. Now, we have a couple of different ways you can show this. My apologies here, hold on. We're going to show them that they're going to be able to pick up additional tax-free income. We're going to save them $1.2 million approximately, and that's going to be over their lifetime. So take a look. The very first year, they have an advantage of over $253,000. By 50, 253.9. By 60, 376. 70, 600. By age 85, over $1.2 million. So over their lifetime, they're at some time going to pass away. And when they do, there's going to be an advantage to their family and to them. Now, a lot of people say, pardon me again. A lot of people say, yeah, but you know what? I'm getting an employer match. Well, I'm going to show you an unrealistic employer match of $6,000. That's 50% approximately. And even with that $6,000, they're still out of money by age 84, and we're still $1.2 million better. Let me roll this back one slide. That's without the employer match, 1.2, and they're out of money at 77. And with the employer match, they're out of money at 84, and we're still $1.2 million ahead. Absolutely incredible, right? Now, we also have a module that's called Retirement Ready or Not, where you can hide half of the screen and allows you to get in there and talk about their current plan. You can add in their current balance, the money they're putting away. You can change the amount of money they're taking out, and it's going to end up changing when they run out of money. So that's another great way to utilize our software in a presentation. Now, a lot of people say, yeah, but will this work with any insurance company? Yes, it will. And that means that you don't join us. You're with Barry and his group. Doesn't make any difference to us. We have the software. Barry has the agents, and you guys have the clients, right? Now, we also have a detailed analysis. There are many people that like to see stuff, especially CPAs and analytics, in a column-based situation. So we have that as well. The majority of people, this puts them to sleep. They don't like that. They like the full page. So what are the challenges that you're facing? I mean, let's face it. You're all talk right now. You have no proof. What do you have to show them? Think about that. What do you show them? Your illustration? Really? How does that compare the IUL to their plan? It can't. And they've never heard of it. I mean, think about that. You're trying to get somebody to change the way that they're going to retire, and you don't provide any proof, and you wonder why these people don't go with the IUL. Well, the solution, one of the solutions, is the IUL Total Advantage software. Because now we can prove mathematically that the IUL is financially superior. What's the other challenge? Well, the prospects are largely uneducated or undereducated about their fees. And what they don't know, you can validate with a video from Tony Robbins. You know, a lot of people don't even know they have 401k fees. And on top of that, they have mutual fund fees if that's where they put their money. So we utilize Steve Croft, the U.S. Department of Labor. This is a video that talks about the fees from the Department of Labor. Now, the other problem, no third-party documents to verify the claims that you make. Again, they've never heard of you. They've never heard of an IUL. And now you're trying to get them to make a change. And if they make the wrong choice, their retirement could be gone, period. So what's the solution? Providing documents. Again, if you're not doing all of this, if you're not providing the math, the documents, you know what? You're a salesman. And again, people don't want to be sold. They want to be educated. The more you educate them with our calculator, with the different documents and the different videos that we have, they are no longer being required to believe in what you're telling them. They now have validation from people like Forbes, the U.S. Department of Labor. There's a lot of information that helps take the fear out of making a change. And if you don't follow that, you're going to lose a few deals. So the more you use our software in the various ways that it's designed, then you're going to make a lot more money, right? Now I'm going to go over and I want to show you the live software here for just a minute. So in this software, you can see up top, this is a sample file. So you could be talking to somebody that's 43 and say, hey, look, I don't know you. You don't know me. Maybe right now we don't have a reason to get together. Let me show you why and how this software works. And at the end of the 10 minutes, I'm just going to ask you if you want to see what your numbers look like. And you got to promise to tell me yes or no, thank you. This just doesn't look right to me, right? So we can see in this sample, this person's 45. They're going to put money away till 70. They're going to start taking income at 71. They're currently in the 28% tax bracket, and we have a little pop-up here to help them and you find those tax brackets. We're going to show them currently in the future at the same tax rate. Well, let me ask all of you, do you think taxes are going to go up, down, or remain the same? Well, everything that we know says they're probably going to go up. And we can also help people take a look at that by saying, hey, here's the national debt. It's about $22 trillion. That is a debt per taxpayer of $179,000. So yeah, we agree taxes are probably going to go up. We have a little pop-up here that shows them from the 401k average book that they do have fees just to own a 401k. And if they put those 401ks into mutual funds, then they're going to have mutual fund fees as well of about 4%. And I apologize, it's hard to get on this with this smaller laptop that I'm using. And it's, anyway, it shows the numbers there. There's the Forbes article. So you can see this is the current plan. We're showing 6.4%. But take a look at the red numbers here. The bottom line, that's what the IUL, the S&P made. I'm sorry. The red line is the S&P over the past 18 years. The CAGR, the rate of return, is 2.85%. So started at 100,000, ended up at 170. That's a compound annual growth rate of 2.85%. Yeah, and I'll bet the majority of your people think that they're making 5 to 8%, right? Well, look at the green line. Yeah, that's the IUL. It actually made 6.54% over the past 18 years. These are some of the tools that help people understand that, wow, maybe I'm not heading in the right direction. But what's nice about these is you can modify these numbers here. You can modify if taxes are going to go up, if they're really going to make 6.4%, and what those plan fees are. And on the left-hand side, you can see my mouse turns into a hand. And wherever that hand is, we can pop up this little red box to help people focus on what it is you're trying to help them understand. Well, you can see that, matter of fact, let's go to age 85. That's the age most people think that somebody's going to pass away. And you can see that by age 78, the qualified plan is out of money. The IUL side at 85, it doesn't run out of money. And look at the savings, taxes, fees, income, and death benefit, and the total advantage of 1.1%. Well, that looks pretty good. That's very, very compelling. But Mr. Client, when I was asking you if you thought taxes were going to go up, you said, yeah, I do. So 30 years from now, what do you think those taxes could be? Well, let's go to just 34%. And yes, it could be much higher. But when I hit enter on my keyboard, watch the math. Now look, because it went up in taxes, they're out of money at 77. Now we're $1.2 million better. Well, if 2% and 4% make 6, maybe they're actually paying 4% in fees. Now they're out of money at 76, and we're $1.3 million better. Maybe they really won't make 6.4% because they haven't over the past 18 years when we've seen the biggest upswing in the market ever. Maybe they're only going to make 5.5%, which is still very generous. And now watch age 76. Now they're out of money at 75. We're $1.3 million better. But everybody, here's the kicker. People make a decision to move forward based on emotions. Number one, period. Well, here's curiosity. Yeah, Mr. Client, this was a sample file. They're $1.3 million better. Not bad, right? Oh, and by the way, Mr. Client, Look what they paid in fees, $255,000. And by the way, what did they get for those fees? They got absolutely nothing. Those are fees. Those come from the fees that go to the 401k administrator, as well as the fees to own a 401k. Now, look how much money they took home, $276,000. 255 in fees, 276. I don't know what that number is exactly, but dang, that looks like as much money as what they ended up with. $255,000 that they gave away to the 401k administrator and the mutual fund fees. I guarantee you, your people did not know this. And you know what beautiful question? Hey, I mean, your CPA told you about this, right? Your 401k administrator told you about these fees, right? No, nobody ever told me that. So what's the next thing besides curiosity? Pain. Because they also paid $142,000 in taxes, $255,000 in fees. Shoot, that's more money than what they took home over their lifetime, and they ran out of money at 75. Curiosity, pain, and now fear. They're out of money at 75. What are you going to do if you live longer? So that's why this software is so powerful, is the numbers don't lie. People look at this and they go, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go back over to the PowerPoint here. So let's talk a little bit about, well, first let me make the screen bigger so you can see it. Sorry about that. So here's our philosophy. The best way to sell an IUL is to quit selling. Start educating people. Again, nobody wants to be sold. We're talking about their retirement. If they make a mistake, they may work until the day they die. So just showing somebody an illustration is not going to cut it, which is why you don't close as many people. Let the IUL Total Advantage System educate your prospects. Once they're educated, they're going to make an educated, informed decision to buy what they already know they need. And that's going to make your life much simpler, and you're going to make more money. So how to quickly master TAC? Well, we provide training. We have recorded webinars, and you can watch these anytime, day or night. We do this also on a Thursday meeting where we go through and we give a live webinar training on the software as well. We also have very quick, and when I say quick, 1 to 8 minute, very short videos, so you don't have to go through an hour-long video to find something that you're looking for. So these are educational videos on how to use our software. And again, you want to be out in the daytime working, and then at night, you don't have to worry about a webinar. You can go right over to the training and start learning about this. Now, in addition, we also have additional documents. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see we have an article from Motley Fool, the U.S. Department of Labor, the father of the 401k, Wall Street Journal article, the Department of Labor brochure, a Kiplinger article, and a brand new one, PBS, How Fees Affect Savings. So you guys, we also have, for your sales process, a scripted PowerPoint, how to copy and paste, the TAC basic sales flow, $1 million marketing ideas, all of this for $5 for the first 30 days. And by now you're probably wondering, at least we hope that you're wondering, would TAC help my business? Well, again, I've been doing IUL for 14 years, and I've used and tried and purchased a lot of software. And the majority of times you're going, man, this was a waste of my money, and it's very expensive. So we don't want you to wonder if TAC is right for you. We want you to try it. And what we're going to do is we're going to have you be able to subscribe to it for a very, very big offer. For just $5, you're going to be able to try out this software. You're going to have access to everything. You're going to have training. You're going to have videos. You're going to have documents. and you've got 4 days to sign up. Now, Barry has jumped in and said, hey, look, we're all over this software. We want every one of our agents to have it, but we don't want to push them into spending $70 until they get a chance to try it. So Barry twisted our arms. He stepped up to the plate and said, look, we're going to cover a big portion of the cost if these agents sign up and they spend $5. $5, guys. You can't even get a medium-sized cup of coffee at Starbucks for $5. You've already seen how powerful the software is. We use 3 different ways in order to get people on board. So, are you going to sit back and think about it, or are you going to jump in there and get signed up, spend the $5 and try it out? Well, we know what you should do, right? You're starting to know what you should do. So, in order to do this, you're going to go, got your pens and paper out there, everybody? IULagent.com/test drive. So write that down, and that's our website. And this is going to be where you sign up. Again, $5 after the first 30 days. If you're going to have a couple of choices, you can do a 1-year subscription where you're paying monthly at $69 a month. Or you can sign up and you can go monthly for $89 a month. And if you want, you can cancel at any time. Well, we don't get a lot of people to cancel because they see how powerful it is and how it helps them increase their closing ratio. And think of this, again, if you're losing 60% of your clients and you went from closing 4 per month to 8 per month, or double whatever that number is, you've just doubled your income with the possibility of getting referrals. Because when people see the power of this software, they're going to be going, yeah, this makes a whole lot of sense. I don't mind telling my cousins, my brothers, my friends, etc. This is the way to go. So, IULagent.com/test drive. And again, you'll have full access for 30 days. Now, if you don't like the software, on day 29, you're going to go back into PayPal and cancel. If you do like the software and you want to keep it, you don't have to do anything. So I suggest you write this down, take advantage of Barry's very generous offer, and get signed up. All right, Barry, do we have any questions?
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Yeah, let me just add to Steve's comment here. You know, we're in a number of different. We've used a number of different IUL vendors for the software packages, and a couple of our vendors right now are charging the agents anywhere from $300 to $500 a month. So this is a hell of a software that I do encourage you to jump into. Steve, one of the questions I had was from one of the agents that he works in a lot of this marketplace, but he was wondering, is there a Roth versus IUL feature to this software?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's, thank you very much for asking that question. I should have been more diligent in covering that. So as we know, a Roth is still invested in the market. The majority of times, most people have a Roth, they put it into mutual funds, so they still have the problem with the fees. But with the Roth, we know that it's tax-free. So when you run an illustration on a tax-free, you just simply go in and you remove the taxes, right? Because there is no tax, but they are still subject to market loss. And even with no taxes, they're out of money at 78. But actually, that is not correct. I'd have to go in there and change some numbers around. But yes, absolutely, you can do Roth conversions, you can do current plans, any of the different options.
Thank you. Next question, Steve. One of our agents here does quite a number of seminars per year, and he does it in more times than not, mostly people that are in the retirement space. And he was wondering if if this software is also good and viable for somebody that he might be talking to that's 72 years old, that's started his retirement, maybe be in RMD situations, and if this would be, if he can use this avenue on that basis too.
Well, somebody that's up in their 70s most likely is not going to have a lifespan that exceeds the 10 years that we like to see an IUL grow. Now, that doesn't mean that the software may not work, because this particular person may have all the money in the world they need, and maybe they want to leave a lump sum of cash in a tax-free plan to their grandchildren. So they're not looking at taking out income. And you want to help them compare maybe a savings plan where they've got a chunk of cash, $250,000, or put that $250,000 in an IUL. And because they're not going to take income, they could do a MEC and you can make a sale. But the average person that's looking for income, for somebody that's in their mid 60s to late 70s, if they're looking for income, generally speaking, the IUL is not the way to go. But the nice thing is you can run the numbers and you'll know for yourself. The last thing anybody wants to do is put somebody into a program that is not right for them. And the only way you're going to know is to run the numbers. And then you can tell that person, hey, you know what? I ran it. It doesn't look like it's right for you. Your trust level just went off the charts when you do that. But maybe using an annuity would be a better direction.
So. Great. Next question. A couple of guys have asked about the videos and the documents. Are these all approved and compliant that they could forward these on to their clients?
Well, we're not using an insurance company. So as far as I know, we don't need their permission because, again, we're showing a video. All these videos are available on YouTube. We've just gathered them together.
All right, super. All right, well, good. I appreciate it. Well, listen, everybody, that was the last question I had. Again, I appreciate everybody's time. Steve, I appreciate your time. Please take advantage of this offer. Take advantage of the system, because I'm telling you, we're finding that people can start closing rather than 2 out of 10 sales or 3 out of 10 sales, that their closing ratio has drastically improved tremendously by getting the right numbers to the client rather than having us all be involved with these 50 and 60-page illustrations that we're dealing with today. So, Steve, appreciate it. I will send this stuff out to everybody, and if anybody has any questions at all today, please give myself a call. Steve, thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Barry. Thank you, everybody.